Hi, good morning. Hope you're having an awesome day so far. Um, Sometimes it's nearly impossible to be in two places at one time. So, since today is Monday and we have our Mastermind gym, I needed to get a head start on my broadcast and the ideas and thoughts that I have brought together for all of you today, um, just so that I can keep my commitment to you of working with you to continue forth in our journey to having a much better life through the changing and transformation of our mindset. So I hope that so far this morning you have been alive, excited, and full of energy. I know that sometimes Mondays are hard because it's the beginning of the week. And if you're really, really, really busy, you've been working throughout the weekend, and it's hard to get a jump start on the week. But anyway, today we're going to have an awesome time during our mind gym. And this mastermind group is really designed, like I've always said, to little by little start decompressing and opening up new ideas, new thoughts that can help us to grow, that can help us to renew our mind, that can help us to inspire ourselves and really find the things that we need to either change or become more aware of so that we don't live life by accident. We don't live life just existing, but instead we live life on purpose. We live it by design and not by default. That's really a great and very powerful statement that I just made, and I hope that you capture it. So I'm going to repeat it for you. We have the ability to live our life by design versus living our life by default. And what do I mean by that? Well, a lot of us may have been living our life by default. Things just kind of fall into place, and we just continue to respond to circumstances and situations in the very same way that we've always done it because we are creatures of habit. We have been programmed. We have developed certain insecurities or habits or mindsets. And so when something happens or when we confront something, we just tend to react to it in the same way. But when you decide to live your life by design, it means that you really become the architect of your life. Your life and my life is a masterpiece. And we only get one life to live. And when we are at our highest, we realize, and when I talk about highest, I'm not talking about financially or in success. I'm talking about when we are at our highest point of wisdom, understanding, when we are at our highest point of um, looking around our lives, looking around ourselves, looking within ourselves, and analyzing. And when we get to that highest point of wanting to be better and wanting to grow more and wanting to change and wanting to have a breakthrough and wanting to expand the way we think and wanting to feed our minds better things so that out of our minds flow better ideas, more creativity, better decisions. When we reach that highest point of our life where we literally become that better person. And when we know better, we do better. And we say, you know what, there has to be more to life than either what I'm doing, what I've done, the way I feel, the way I respond, the way I react, the things that are happening to me. There has to be more to life than this. There has to be a better way. When we get to that highest point of ourselves, we must do an inventory. First and foremost of ourselves, our mindset, how we respond to things. And a lot of times we don't even respond, we react to it. And then make a concise and clear decision to become more aware. So, for example, I can remember that about 15 years ago, I started thinking there has to be a better way to live. There has to be a better way to this thing called life. I want more. I want more out of life. I want to experience better things. I'm tired of going around the same mountain. I'm tired of dealing with the same issues. I'm tired of taking 3 steps forward and 4 steps back, or 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. And I started my quest for becoming a better me, because when you and I become a better us, then things change. I hear so many times people say, well, that's just the way I am. And that is the most detrimental thing that we can do to ourselves, is say, well, you know what, this is the way I am, because you and I have not lived out our best and highest potential yet. So even the way that we are is not the way that we should remain. So over 15 years ago, I started that quest. I started thinking there has to be a better way to living. There has to be more to life. I feel unsatisfied. I know that I've been able to do certain things, and yes, my life has been good, but I don't feel like I'm playing at my highest level. I don't feel like I'm reaching my highest potential. There has to be more to life. And so with that, began a quest for changing myself. When you and I change, everything around us changes. I know that a lot of us, when we don't know better, we try to change the people around us. And in reality, there's only one person that has control to change, and that's us. We only have control to change one person, and that is us. So I started seeking, and I started learning, and I started studying, and I started consuming better and better and better things for my mind, reading books, self-help books, looking at people that had changed their lives and changed the experiences that they were having. And I started learning from them and realizing that, I don't know it all. There's a better me to be found. There's a higher me to be explored. There is a greater me to be discovered. And so it's taken me to many, many, many places in my life. And I still feel that there's so much more. So if you're like I am, or if you feel in a place where you are always going around the same mountain, or you end up in the same place, because you know what, today we're talking about falling into ruts or being stuck or going around the same mountain. It's all a product of our mindset. See, we've been programmed. We've got certain thoughts and mindset and chatter and voices in our head. And then, of course, we have the same people around us, probably from our family and our friends. And so we need to uh, find a way to become a better person and change, so that we can grow stronger, so that our minds can grow stronger, so that we stop reacting. I remember that I used to be a very reactive person. That was just my own weakness. When we are weak, we have no control over our own emotions, and our emotions get the best of us. So I used to be a very weak person, internally first and foremost, filled with insecurities and filled with um, doubts, self-doubt, fear, very congested. And so I would react to things instead of responding to them. So one of the ways to get out of a rut, if you're taking notes today, is to start becoming more aware of your surroundings, start becoming more aware of the people that you're hanging out with. And I know that's hard, because we love them, they're so nice, they're either our family or we've been friends forever. But here's the thing, if you and I are the strongest, wisest, most prosperous person in our circle, then we don't have much chance of growing too much further than those that surround us. So we always have to be surrounding ourselves with people that are higher, at a higher level than us. So if you're in a rut, whether it's emotional, financial, whether it's internal, whether it's in the thoughts that you have, whether it's in the habits that you have, whether it's in the things that you're trying to reach, whether it's at work, in your career, in whatever you are trying to change, in your relationships, in your social life, if you are in a rut or you're stuck, the first thing that you need to do is do an inventory. Do an inventory and become more aware. Okay, what is it that keeps me getting back into the same place? What is the thought patterns that I have? What are the habit patterns that I have? What are the things that continuously bring me back to point A? What is it? And you sit down and you start to analyze yourself. One of the most powerful ways to change any relationship is for us to change first and do an inventory on ourselves, because it takes two to tango. So, for example, if I'm hanging out with negative people, pessimistic people, and I'm working on my goals and I'm working on my dreams, and I set out and I start off really strong because I've got great, goals that I want to reach, and then I end up finding myself slacking off. I have to ask myself, am I surrounding myself by people that hold me accountable? People that are on my side, people that are cheering me on, people that are encouraging me, inspiring me, motivating me, people that I can follow because they are a role model, people that are a good example for me? Or am I hanging around with people that are just same old, just, come see, come saw, status quo, today, tomorrow, the day after, the month after, the next year, it's all the same stuff. If you're part of the crowd, guess where you're going to end up? You're going to end up where the crowd is at. So that's where the hardest part comes in, and it's breaking out of the rut of our familiarity, of the people that we know, and even more, it's becoming aware, okay, who do I need to surround myself by? So the first thing is do a self-evaluation, do a self-inventory. Look, you can't hang around people that have bad relationships and expect to have a good relationship, could you? Can you? Can't hang around broke people and expect to have a lot of money, because I heard this said the other day. I mean, it's like a virus. Negativity, lack, poverty, bad relationships, mindsets, negative mindsets, the wrong mindsets, they're like a virus. I mean, as long as you're around them, it's going to be contagious. So do an inventory first and foremost. Please do an inventory. And here's where we really need to have an awakening. Like I had an awakening, and I realized that, my goodness, people say time is money, but time is more than money. Time is our life, and we don't get it back. It's the most precious and most valuable asset and gift that we have. Our time is our life, and we will never get back this second. Once the second is gone, it will never come back. So I had an awakening, and I realized, you know what, if I'm going to make my comeback, if I'm going to get to a higher and better place, if I'm going to reach the summit of my life, if I'm going to live my life on purpose, with passion, and playing at a higher level, and really feeling satisfied. And even we all have bad days. I'm not saying that you're going to be in this fantasy land, being like Superman and Wonder Woman every day. No, because we're human and we deal with challenges. But it is so different when you have the ability to assess your life, make an inventory of it, and realize, here are the places that I am hemorrhaging in getting ahead. Here's where I'm depleting myself, this person or this person. And sometimes we have to walk our own deserts. Let me say that again. Sometimes we have to walk our own deserts. That means you have to break ties with certain people, or you have to separate for a little while, or you have to just stop associating as much as you do with certain people, because those people are your hindrances. Those people are your hindrances. You become a product of your environment. And sometimes it's someone that we love. Or we have to make a stand and say, you know what? I am going to go on a negativity diet. I am going to go on a complaining diet. I am going to fast or diet from the wrong mindsets. So if you're going to start complaining, please know ahead of time that I am not going to participate, because I'm looking to purge myself. I'm looking to detox my mind. I mean, we hear people talking about detoxing their bodies. What about detoxing your mind? What about finding mind coaches, people that are going to overload you with positive things? And that's where reading books come in. That's where having a better mental diet comes in. So number one is what? Assessing your environment, assessing yourself, and understanding that you cannot continue to be the same person hanging around with the same people doing the same things. You can't do the same thing and expect a different result. So what happens? You need to understand and realize that I'm going to have to sit down and evaluate my life. I'm going to have to sit down and understand that There are certain things that have to change beginning with me, not anybody else. You are the captain of your life, right? You're the one that decides what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Number two, you have to start feeding your mind better things. You have to start reading better books, listening to motivational things, listening to positive things, doing your daily affirmations. The first week of our Mind Gym, we talked about affirmations. I'm happy. I'm powerful. I'm productive. I am able. I am capable. I am admired. I am respected. I am alive. I'm excited. I am productive. I am profitable. I have plenty more. All these positive things that we need to say to ourselves so that we can download better things into our mind, right? Read better books, watch better programs. So number two, start feeding your mind better things. And it's not just once a week when we get together. It's every single day. It's every single day. Number three, we have to make a decision. The first thing is making a decision and a declaration and determining, I want to play at a higher level. I want to be able to live the ultimate life that I was created to live. And it's going to take my work and my determination. And the last thing that I want to leave you with, because I know today's a real busy day for all of us. Like I said when I began, I can't be in two places at one time. So I'm actually getting this done from another location so that you can see it as soon as you are here with me. Number four is to disconnect sometimes. Sometimes we just have to disconnect. We just have to step back and look at our life from a different perspective and break the hindrances, break the walls that are holding us back, and realize that if we want something different in life, we've got to be willing to do something we've never done. So step out in blind faith. Just believe. Just believe. Write your goal, read your goal, do your affirmations, do an inventory, disconnect from naysayers, disconnect from negative people, disconnect from people that are toxic in your life, or at least just let them know, listen, we're going to change this. We're not going to continue doing the same crazy stuff, all the time and expecting a different result. So as of today, I am making a declaration that I am going to detox my mind because I want different things for myself. And then you just have to take a step back and rest. You have to just stop the madness. You have to just cut it out and realize that every day that goes by, every single day that goes by, my life has just gone by. And if I don't become the better person, and if I don't live out my life in an ultimate way, and if I don't pay the price right now, I'm going to pay the price later on. Because here's what I always say. Life has a price to pay. Change has a price to pay. Overcoming yourself has a price to pay. And a lot of people live in their comfort zone. We talked about that last week. And they're unwilling to break out of their comfort zone, or they're fearful, or they're doubtful, or they're scared, they're insecure. There are so many emotions that come our way. But if we don't pay that price head on now, we're going to pay that price later on. Let me say that again. If we don't pay the price head on at the beginning, we're going to pay the price later on. Because every one of our actions has consequences, and everything that we do has a result. And I encourage you today to live your life by design and not by default. To realize that you are the captain of your ship, that you are the architect of your life, that your life is a masterpiece that is worth living. So you might as well overcome your fears, overcome your doubts, change the things you need to change, break out of those toxic patterns, break out of those destructive mindsets and habits and routines that we fall into, because we all fall into a routine. Associate yourself with better people. Do an inventory of the people that you're hanging around with, and either put them on notice and say, look, I'm going to start living my life by design. Do you want to come with me? And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read books. I'm going to associate with more positive people. I'm going to feed my mind better things. Let's start sharing ideas that will take us further and further and further ahead in life, instead of sitting here murmuring, grumbling, complaining, being pessimistic, and always looking for the, half full cup, instead of saying, wow, at least we have a cup that's half full, and not complain about the cup being half empty. Do that. If you don't do it today, let me tell you, the next 10 years are going to by real fast. And instead of you enjoying the journey of a design life, of a life that is exciting and adventurous, again, we're not going to have all good days, but it is more exciting to live a life where you're aware that, you know what, I'm having a bad day, but I'm still in control. You know what, I'm not feeling good today, but I'm still in charge. You know what, things haven't gone my way. I've had many setbacks, but I'm the one that decided to take this path, and I'm the one that's going to be able to overcome it because I am the one that is on the journey to living a better life. So if you're in a rut, if you're stuck, then assess your life, change yourself, change your surroundings, and sometimes just disconnect. It's just as simple as saying, you know what, let me press pause because I'm not going to keep repeating these patterns over and over. I am not crazy doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Guys, life is exciting when you're growing, when you're moving ahead, when you're changing. Sometimes it's painful, but the rewards are so great. You know, whether you have a setback or not, whether you have people that are haters, whether, you know, you fall, just get back up and keep going. At least you're moving in the right direction. Isn't it better to be moving forward than to just continuously be going around in the same mountain? Relationships, your finances, your social life, your career, yourself, your mindset, your health, your physical self, your internal self, everything can change. And you can start living a life by design instead of continuing the patterns that you inherited or that you just took on by accident from the people that you just hang around with. And live an exciting life. Live a life by design and not by default. So I hope you have an awesome day today. And remember, the best is yet to come. It's up to you. So if it's to be, it's up to me. Take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.